here we go for Magic Secrets. We'll start with Lord's Prayer. We'll go from there. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay, we've got an exciting, really great episode 34 here for you. Episode 33, of course, we had Bryn, ranked number 33. I don't know if Bryn's actually played any ranked games since then. He did either win a tournament or something like that. But we've got a lot to cover today. I looked at the blog today, 10 beautiful blog posts on the blog. So much has happened because of the work that Bryn and Lawrence, Smitty, everybody on the team is coming together. Dan's been fire content. Adam just jumped on. Let's get Adam. Let me make Adam a panelist. So Adam's jumping on. Adam's been really active. That's been fantastic. So we got a lot going on today. I have something in the background I need a little bit to take care of. So we have a great situation where Bryn, between Bryn going over the blogs and Smitty has a new deck to introduce. I played quite a bit of it. It's brilliant that he and Dan came up with. So let me make, there you go, make Jeremy a panelist as well. Great to have Jeremy on as well. This is going to be terrific. So between them going over the new blog posts, which are incredible, and between Smitty talking about the new deck that we have for you, and then we're going to get into, I have a new card to talk to you guys about, the new blue-green charm. I just realized.
It's gross.
Guys, did you realize that you can pump up Mr. Green with it, right? That's what I realized last.
It's so gross.
Okay, you guys already realized that. I was like a day late. I was the one who posted the card, and then 2 days later, I realized why it was so good. We'll talk about all that. We'll talk about the new Strixhaven set. So much going on with Magic Secrets. Exciting time to be alive. I'm going to turn things over to my erstwhile co-conspirators here, Bryn and Lawrence and Jeremy and Smitty. And Adam can help explain what's going on, and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. So I'm going to mute myself out and take out my camera and let Bryn take the lead on the blogs with Smitty and the team.
Sweet. Okay, let's see. Share the screen. Include sound. This should do it. You guys are now seeing the screen, right?
Yep, we see it.
Great. Yes. Perfect. Okay, let's go to the blog. Couple of new blogs here. We have the Atlantis Shuffle. We have Tokyo Gary winning a tourney like a couple of days ago. And we have the new deck that Dan designed, and then Mike and Smitty both have different versions of it. Where do you want to start, Smitty?
Let's start with I'm a Loner Dottie.
Let's go.
It's really fun. So this deck is so silly. I've had so much fun playing it, and actually had a decent win rate. So what we're looking at here is a classic version of something Dan would do, which is just play as many colors as he can and try and go as fast as he can. So you'll see there's a bunch of one drops. Amongst them are Springleaf Drum, which you often want to just cast first turn rather than even cast a creature. And then, because you don't always want to attack with Grand on turn 2, sometimes you just want to draw and discard. Same with like Cynical Loner. You can lead with Springleaf a fair amount. Gene Pollinator has kind of the same theme. You want to cast that on turn 1. What you really want to cast on turn 1 is Moonshadow. He's kind of the rock star of the deck. He plays really nice with the Flail, which is right above him, which is an artifact equipment where you pay 1 black and then you can discard a card to equip it, or you can pay 3 mana, which does come up. But in this deck, you normally want to be discarding. So that's the 1 drops. The Oh, Hemosymbic Might is one of the most polarizing cards in the deck. It's either really good or really lame. It
Why is that, Smitty? Why is he really good sometimes and not really good other times?
if you can throw a flail on him and use him with a drum or a pollinator at instant speed to make combat almost impossible for your opponent, as once he becomes tapped, a guy basically gets giant growth for no mana. If he has a flail on him,
Oh, a different guy, right?
correct, yeah. Yeah, so you can really make combat very complicated for them because they have to choose before you do. So you can attempt to kill their guy by making your guy bigger, or you can just get extra damage through. There was a game earlier today where my opponent had one big red black baddie. I don't remember the name of it. And I had 3 dudes, and I just flailed Might and attacked with the other dudes, and that was the end of the game. Actually, I think I might have had 4 dudes. Yeah, because I needed to do like 6 or 7 to him, and I was also relatively low. It was the 4/3 black red guy that exiles your cards, and then they can play them. Unfortunately for him, every
Oh
time
yeah.
he used
Is
it,
that the pirate or something, right? Or the lizard or something?
yeah, it's an outlaw wizard, something like that, mercenary
Yeah.
lizard. Unfortunately for him, every time he exiled a card off the top of my deck, it was a favor because it was a land that I didn't need. Um, so that led to the situation in that particular combat where it's like, okay, you can block whoever, it doesn't matter. Somebody's getting, I might, yeah, no, I think I just had one fail. Somebody's getting +3/+3, and that's going to be enough to win. Going on to the 2-drops, Cynical Loner is super fun. 8 times out of 10, she goes and gets a Bloodghast and puts it in the graveyard for you when she becomes tapped. Bloodghast is just bonkers in this deck. Sure, it's just a 2/1. Sometimes it has haste, but it can wear the flail. It can wear the wild ride. It keeps coming back over and over and over again. And sometimes you're going to put the Phoenix in the Grumper, and sometimes you're going to put the Graveyard. Sometimes you're going to put the Naga Flesh Crafter in the graveyard. If you have Moonshadow in play and Naga Flesh Crafter in your graveyard, 3 mana means all of your guys become 7/7 menace.
What does the Naga do? Because I know this Cynical Loner, when it becomes tapped, I think at the end of your turn, right? So after attacking and stuff, at the end of the turn, you can look for any card in your deck and then put it in the graveyard?
Technically before the end of the turn because it's during your second main phase. So if that happens
Yeah, okay.
to matter, there's probably examples where it happens to matter.
Yeah, sure.
Because like you could put a Bloodghast in and then play your land in your second main, and the Bloodghast would come back. So it's not end of turn, but yes, essentially the same idea.
Yeah.
And then with the Flesh Crafter, the main idea is to make all your guys the main idea is to make all your guys Moonshadows, but sometimes you can make them all Phoenix, and occasionally it's good to make them all Hemosymbic Mites. Not very often, but normally.
So what do you say the percentages are? Like, is it like 80% Phoenix or 80% Moonshadow, and then the rest is like Phoenix and
it's probably 85% Moonshadow and 12% Phoenix, and then like 3% Might.
So you played one game where you had the.
It can work. It's not your ideal. But it's a thing you can work because you make all your guys Mites, and then they all pump each other up.
Right.
They all pump one guy up that's getting through. Or you pump the Mite, it pumps another Mite, which pumps another Mite, and There's I think I've done it once. It's a strange configuration.
Is
Normally,
that how it works? So let's say you have like 3 mites on the board and they're all, let's say, 1-1s. Is the 1-1? I think it's like default, right? So then the first one becomes, let's say, a 3-1, pumps the other one.
right, you're
Neil?
usually using gene pollinator or springleaf drum
Yeah.
to tap the first one. Because otherwise when they attack, they can also pump, but like you're only getting the one pump.
Okay.
Or sorry, it can be more efficient to make one guy really big and then attack.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and he can make another guy really big.
Oh, right. So you use the pollinator to tap the mites?
Yeah. It's
Nice.
I'm not 1,000% sure that 4 mites is correct. I think it's probably not. But anyways, we'll move on to the 3 drops. The Phoenix. It's really cool. You have to have a 4 mana guy in, sorry, a 4 power guy in play for it to really work. You can hard cast it. I've done it. Doesn't come up very often, but mostly you just want a guy that keeps coming back over and over again. And once again, that accentuates the importance of the flail because with Bloodghast, Loner, um, I don't know, probably some other cards. You'll often have a 4 power creature, Wild Ride, etc. That will bring back your Phoenix, and sometimes that's very important. Sometimes you can even like cast Wild Ride and then harmonize it in the same turn with like a Loner, and that's the best play. Um, and occasionally with the Loner, also you'll put Wild Ride um, into your graveyard. That's kind of the whole theme with Winter Night Stories being in the deck is to be able to Cynical Loner it into the graveyard and use it later. Right. And then Naga is really just kind of like the over the top rock star that's aiming to make all your guys 2/2 plus flyers or all your guys 7/7 menace guys. I've been messing with Likeness Lunar because it plays so nice with Moonshadow. When you copy the Moonshadow, it does not get the minus counters. It just becomes a 7/7
Nice. It becomes a 7/7.
flying menace. Yeah. And I guess
But
that's
on turn, what turn is that? Early is like 3 or something?
yeah. You can do it turn 3. You can probably do it turn 2.
Nice. A turn 2 or turn 3 flying menace 7/7.
I don't know if you can do it turn 2 or not. I haven't thought about that much.
Okay.
You can definitely do it turn 3. And you can also like you're using Bloodghasts as like super value too. So the flail, the Bloodghasts, the Loner, like it's just a very synergist deck. It doesn't have any like besides Naga, it doesn't have anything really that's going to drop on you and like just like boom, this is the biggest thing ever. It's more quick and attrition. Like it's hard to deal with all the threats that it brings at you very quickly. With the drum and the pollinator and the loner all working together, you can get a lot of little dudes, make them a little bit bigger, and that's kind of how it works. Like I say, I've won a lot of games with the deck. I don't think it's like the world beater of world beaters, but it certainly is fun and worth investigating further.
Yeah, and you got into Diamond, right? 60% win rate. Have it right here. Your version.
Nice.
Yeah, this one is the version is a little bit different, right? So it's like 1 less Flamewake Phoenix. You have paw patches in there instead of what? Midnight Stories.
Yeah, I was playing
Yeah.
with Paw Patch and I liked it, but I moved it to the sideboard for the likeness looters.
Okay.
As I think they're just a touch above. Paw Patch could come back and definitely is happy to be in the sideboard. As adding the additional counters is huge with the Phoenix and the Flail.
Right.
And just kind of and I'm sorry, the Might too.
Yeah.
It charges up the Might. The Might is the biggest question because like it really I don't know why. I'm struggling with it because initially I just thought it was amazing, and now I'm just kind of like, not my favorite card to draw, and I don't know if that's just a sample size thing or if it's the way it actually is, and maybe it's not the best card in the deck. So that's to be determined.
Okay.
And Dan could probably have some more insight on how better to use the Might, but I don't have him handy right now.
Me neither. But we can ask him.
I'm also playing like 5 or 6 different decks right now. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
Go
you're
ahead.
playing. Yeah, this one you've been playing the survey creature deck.
Oh yeah, the Raising Shredder is super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are you on quote my account right now?
No, I'm not on any account, but I'll log in a second if you'd like.
Okay, if you want to just show some different decks around, maybe we can play
Cool.
one, maybe not. Doesn't matter.
Let's see. If we can.
But yeah, yeah, don't show your password.
Yeah, let me stop sharing screen for a second.
But yeah, the Dan deck on a loader Dottie is just absolutely fun to play. I make about 3 mistakes a game with it though, as it is complicated and I play slow, so I have to get in a hurry before timing out. It can be a problem because there's like, do I want to use the spring leaf or do I want to use the, it's yeah, and you can just make mistakes like play your land before you could have landfall to a blood gas because you were going to put it in the graveyard with your Cynical Loner anyway, because you're going to use the Cynical Loner to activate the spring leaf, and then you just played your land instead, and now you don't get the blood gas until next turn if you have another land. Stuff like that's like really a little bit dicey. Sorry if this is boring.
No, not at all.
Hey, Smitty, can I ask 2 quick questions?
Sorry, Adam, I can't hear you very well.
Oh, Adam was asking if you could ask 2 quick questions.
Please.
First, any consideration to adding Sage of the Skies to this list, and then is there anything that you can think of from Strixhaven that would be an upgrade?
Oh yeah, so I haven't studied Strixhaven, so I'm sure there are plenty of upgrades. Sage of the Skies would really make it a Dan deck because then it would be 5 colors, and that makes a lot of sense. Of all the things I've thought of to add to this deck, that is not one of them. So it's a great suggestion. I'd love to look into it. Strixhaven, like Mike said, the blue-green charm is amazing, but I've glanced over. I've enjoyed that. There's a lot of cool cards coming, but I haven't really started to think about strategy for those cards. I leave that to the smart people, like Brent over here.
Right.
Crushing the world with 17 lands in his deck.
Let's see.
Let me think about Sage of the Skies, though. So you notice
It would be pretty awesome, I think.
I'm sorry?
I think it would be very strong, at least to consider maybe even having it be in the base. Like, I could definitely see it being more of an Esper or 4-color shell with Sage of the Sky, especially if you're already in drum.
Yeah, we're not afraid of adding a color for sure. I initially am thinking that that's probably a worthy cause to investigate. It is a really low mana curve, but we have sufficient mana to support more 3-drops. So why not give it a try and see how it goes?
Which one would it be? Would it be this one, right? Or would it be a different one?
Say again?
Would it be this deck? I think no, not this one. Not this version. Which version would it be, Smitty? This one, number 2.
On your left. Yeah.
This one. Great. So if we're considering adding Sage of Disguise, oh, here's the like. Let's do that. Great. May last to this version 16, 20 lands. Okay. What would you like? How many Sage of Disguise would you put in, and then what would you take out?
Let's look at it real quick. I'm always kind of okay with cutting a Phoenix, as the usual situation with that card is you loner it, and you don't often need more than one to do what you want to do with it. Wild Ride is another card where you can play 3 and it's okay. We could see if the Sage is just strictly better than the Looter as well. Something like that is probably where I would start.
I would only run maybe 2, maybe tops 3 copies. But I agree.
Yeah, two or 3 is what I was thinking as well. Sorry if I'm talking over you.
Interesting. Okay, so you guys would be like, okay, let's
hear Adam's thoughts on what he would replace.
Yeah.
No, I agree with what you were saying. Maybe with the small thought of trimming a grand, perhaps.
Interesting.
Oh man, that's like telling Bren to take Tidebinder out of his deck, man.
Yeah, Tidebinder taking out of that Atlantis Shuffle. No, it's heresy. Okay, so you really want 4 grands?
Huh? We really do. But
no, that's
I
fine.
also play 3 or 4, so I understand.
So what if we do 3 grands and then either are we going to go down to 1 Phoenix or are we going to go down to 3 Wild Rides?
I would take out a Phoenix and a Wild Ride myself.
Okay, and then we have 3 Sage of Disguise.
And we'd probably have to adjust the mana, of course.
Sage. Oh, we don't have it here. Possible. Oh, of course, white. Duh. There we go. Okay, interesting.
Now you probably so this is basically a black-green deck.
Yeah.
Has a bunch of splashes. So you probably want to focus on maybe like some concealed courtyards, or I don't know. I would need to think more about the mana.
Yeah.
But you probably need something more than 8-10 sources to cast 3 Sage. Yeah, you probably need at least 2 more, which could probably be a Blooming Marsh into a courtyard.
Don't forget that the Springleaf Drum gives you any color.
Yeah, of course. I'm counting that. I promise. I just count those as 4. Sorry, not 4 of total.
You're counting those as 2, and then the pollinators as 2, or
like 4 total between the pollinator and the drum.
Yeah. And then starting town is 4, so that's.
I'd probably play like a Godless Shrine or something. I don't know. It might be a Temple Garden would be better. I'd have to look.
I've always found that Multiversal Passage solves all the problems because you can just then pick runtime decision.
Yeah, we have 4 of them.
I have to disagree with you a little bit there, but love you long time. I'd add a Temple Garden, I think.
Okay, so instead of the Godless Shrine, you would do a Temple Garden?
Yeah, and take out a Sanctum, I guess.
Oh, here's your Temple Garden. We went down one Blooming Marsh, up to one Temple Garden, and then you wanted the Concealed Courtyard?
I think so. It's probably not right, but it's somewhere in the
Did I
vicinity.
write that?
Right.
Of course.
It's like I say, we're really a black-green deck, so we want to have first turn green and or
Yeah.
first turn black or both. And the pollinators and the spring leaf drums really help with that on the next turn.
Okay, and then which land did you want to take out? One Blooming Marsh or two?
One marsh, one sanctum.
One Marsh, one Sanctum. That's it. There we go. Interesting.
Now we're 5 colors.
Nice. True
Might
dance now.
might as well fire up a game while you're on there.
Okay. Let's do a play game.
And we're gonna make a bunch of mistakes, and it's gonna be so fun.
Best of one standard was this one. Yeah, 5 color. There
Yep.
we go.
Smitty, were the majority of your games in best of one or best of three?
Best of one, because I play so many decks, and I don't know.
No, that's fair.
When it comes time to the sideboard, then I really enjoy that aspect, but I'm not playing a lot live or like super competitive tournaments, so
This seems like a keeper, right?
okay, so I think we lead with Moonshadow.
Right, we keep this and then we turn one Concealed Courtyard and Moonshadow.
I would
Right,
play
Smitty?
Courtyard Moonshadow, yes.
Yep. Great.
Ooh, does that count? I don't know if it counts. I don't know if Bloodghast counts as a second spell, because it's just returned from the graveyard.
It would not be.
Yeah. All right. Oh, but we have Grand, so life is good. Yeah, we maybe even should have. It doesn't matter. Maybe even
Cast
should.
Grand instead, you mean?
Maybe. I mean, it's always great to get Moonshadow out there so it can get whacked. Which it often does.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Soul Guard Lantern's kind of annoying, but you know, it happens.
What do you want to do, Smitty?
Grand. So we're gonna have to play off of not the graveyard right now, or we can put Bloodghast in and see if they want to just go ahead and whack it before we show them Cynical Loner and Might.
Okay, let's see what he does. Second Bloodcast.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna. Well, he might actually. No, he might go ahead and attack with Grand. Discard Bloodghast. Play Multiversal on green, I guess.
Now we can play the Blooming Marsh instead, right?
Oh yeah, certainly. See if he whacks the Bloodghast. That would be great. He doesn't. That's okay. We still have a Bloodghast. Here I'm going to just cast. Shoot. I guess, yeah, I'm just gonna cast. What are they on? What colors are they playing? They have Cauldron too, Blood Crypt, and Northampton Farm. Okay, so this is a weird card. I don't know what it does really. Like, it's weird. I thought it did something that it doesn't. All right, so whatever they have, what they have. I would just play Might and Loner and be done. They might fuck us up somehow. We don't know about it.
Might and Loner.
Yeah, and hopefully we draw a spell next turn.
This is awesome. This is my life. I leave the podcast for a few minutes and I come back and we got science happening right in front of us.
They're
I
playing.
saw that. I saw the Sage of the Skies. I got so excited. I was like, damn, that's cool.
We're not gonna block that guy, obviously. We're just gonna smash back, I think. We don't have any way to do anything else, right? Yeah, no.
And by smash back, I don't know what that probably means.
Goodbye, Mike. Hold on. Let's see here. I would swing with Grand and Cynical Loner.
And the Bloodgeist.
Sure, why not? But they've got Lantern. So, yeah, that's true.
Oh, they have Lantern. Never mind.
Yeah, we kind of want to draw out the Lantern, though. So, yeah, just swing.
Does Lantern only get, does it clear the whole graveyard?
I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, if they
okay,
tap and
yeah, draw it out like Smitty said.
Attack with all three, right?
Yeah. Obviously, don't discard the other Bloodgeist.
Bye, Grand. We'll miss you.
Yeah. No, don't discard the Bloodgeist. Oh.
Oh, I thought you said discard the Bloodgeist.
Oh, I guess you do. No, I guess you do. You do. I play the honorable passage or the multiversal passage for white. Yeah, take action. Oh, yeah, take action and just put something that you don't want in the graveyard.
Yeah, something terrible.
Something you don't want to draw. Yeah, something you don't want to draw right now. Like that.
Just scroll down.
Wow, what a cool deck. You've got all those. That's so out of the blue, Smitty. I love it. It's so cool.
Oh, the Sage of the Skies is Adam.
Yeah.
Just get a land.
Yeah, take out Starting Town.
Starting Town, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, just thin your deck out a little bit.
And then play this for white.
For white, yeah. And go ahead and pay the life. Okay, he should kill that. And if he doesn't, you get a Bloodgeist.
Same happened before. We tempted him before.
This is so funny. So it's very similar to what I was doing with this deck where I was trying Mr. Green in it.
No, Adam was like, play Sage of the Skies. I was like, all right, whatever, let's try it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool idea. Yeah, I really liked it. It was sort of funny. I was working on like renovation stuff, and then I come over and I'm seeing you guys are playing. I'm like, wow, this is so cool.
Now
playing.
and
then you guys top deck the Sage of the Skies. I was like, what? This is cool.
So now we play the Pollinator and then the Sage of the Skies, right?
Yeah, correct. For sure. Yeah, he don't want to see that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, he definitely does not want to see that.
Might not win, but it's still beautiful.
Yeah, definitely beautiful. So let me get to some announcements while we're waiting with bated breath to see if we survive this Goblin Onslaught by this wacky deck here. So a lot of what's gone on this week, last week we were talking about that we realized that we want to have a forum, and so David Mills and I worked out how that's going to work. There is going to be a forum. There's just going to be one. It's just too confusing to have different logins on different sites and so forth. Can that kill all of our creatures? It can, right? Oh no! Did he concede?
Conceded?
Yeah.
Scoop. Scoop. All right, that was fun.
Um,
We're all like guessing like on this deck. Like Dan would probably.
but the versions with the haste are very exciting as well. The versions that have the I don't remember what it's called, the +3/+0 haste res card.
It's in here. Don't worry.
Oh, that's in there? Okay, great.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've played it both ways, with and without, and I missed it without. I like how much like life it brings to the deck.
How do you feel about the Hema Symbiotic Might? That's the big question card, in my opinion.
Eh,
It kind of like is either great
Yeah.
or it stinks.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, of course, it can be great. It probably stumbles into win more than we realize it. I don't know. There's probably more opportunity in exploring other cards than there is trying to make it work. But I would try both.
Guys, thank you so much for trying out the Sage of the Skies. Unfortunately, I have to sign off because I've got to go to a meeting. But looking
Yeah,
forward to
tip of the
seeing
cap to you,
on
Adam.
Thanks
Yeah,
for the suggestion. That's super
Great
fun.
job, buddy. Tip of the cap to you. Great to have Adam on. Boy, what a great city on a hill we have here with Magic Secrets and with OMG. So fantastic. Let me do some. I'll present some content here. But that was fantastic. Great job, guys. Let me do this. I've got a card to pull up to discuss, and I figured this is going to factor in. So this will be our first Strixhaven spoiler. Looking at Strixhaven, which comes out this week. Which I like the theme. By the way, guys, I want to say, Dan Burdick really went into WotC and tried to change things in Magic. It's sort of like you hear about in politics, somebody saying, "Oh, I'm going to go to Washington and I'm going to change things," and normally they don't. Normally things go on, as usual. They say business as usual, but Dan, I think, really did shake things up at WotC. I think it's such a fun game, such an interesting game now. And one of the things I want to say about about Strixhaven is I love the narrative. Like they're grabbing the Harry Potter narrative, right? Good job, right? Harry Potter fans rejoice, have fun with it. It's cool. I love how they brought prepared in. So it's like all these old school cards, right? So the idea is Strixhaven's this like magic university or whatever. And what are they teaching? They're teaching the old school cards like Ancestral Recall, Lightning Bolt, right? The old school stuff that you get. You're like, wow, this is a card. What's that, Smitty?
Gotterdammerung. It's
What's
German.
Gotterdammerung? What's that?
It's German for Armageddon. It's the coolest foreign
card.
card.
Gotterdammerung. Do they have Armageddon?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so, unless it was a fake spoil.
Yeah, I'll have to check it. Yeah, that was one of the reasons I thought about pushing ahead with because we are going to come out with a promo. And I thought about pushing ahead with it, but I felt like let's make sure we know what the spoiler is. So I think we're going to wait till at least Friday and just really make sure we know what the spoiler is. I think we already know what our promo is going to be basically, but just in case there's a bombshell, but just in case I saw they had the one that was big in Type 2 for a while, the one where you pull all the enchantments from your graveyard or something like that.
Oh,
it was like a white.
Yeah, it starts with an R.
Yeah, something or other. Yeah, anyways, you know what I'm talking about.
Academy, so anyways, get it. Shoot, I can't remember right now.
I know what you're talking about. So we'll probably bring it up next week because maybe we'll go through the spoiler more.
Imagine Armageddon with Earthbent lands, like.
Oh, right.
If your opponent's not playing Earthbent lands and you just get to cast Armageddon.
Right. Yeah, that'll obviously be huge if that's the case, which I agree. It's probably is the case. Okay, I'll try to dig up that card. If someone wants to try to dig up the card on this episode, we go to webinar and they make it a little more complicated than I want. Okay, so this is a new card I want to discuss. And I was the one that posted this in our WhatsApp group. Our WhatsApp group will be migrating over Bryn, we started the blog at the perfect time. Lawrence, we started the blog at the perfect time. Guys, Jeremy, we started the blog at the perfect time. We hadn't, because it's still very manageable. Because what I think a lot of what we want to do as we transition over to the forum is we want to transplant the best of that WhatsApp group before we forget all about what the hell happened in there, because it's gonna be gone, an artifact of time. Once we really begin on the forum and stuff like that, and you'll be able to presumably log into your app, to your phone. You'll log into the Law of Implication app. Will be what it will be. So for Magic, for really any discussion oriented content, which is fascinating, guys. So once I realized, just so you know, once I realized that we were putting the forums on lawofimplication.com, has some very big ripple effects. It has some very, very, very big ripple effects potentially. That can really, really be enticing and valuable, helpful to people. Platform that David Mills owns and manages overseas, being a place for discussion is a very, very interesting idea indeed, and can lead to a lot of good. So that'll be a place where people will log in. They'll go, be typing on the forum. Oh, new sets coming out, right? New cool card. Talk to your buddies about it. New game came out. Let's talk about that new game. I'm playing Age of Wonders 4 with David Mills right now. Great game. Lots of games out there. We were on the Magic Secrets or the OMG webinar on Saturday with Nikki. He was talking about Crimson. What was it? Crimson Sunrise or Crimson Sun? Crimson something. He's playing a new game, right? There's games out there that we'll be discussing, and then it'll also cover relationship advice. I think probably a little bit better than the podcasters of today. You're probably a little bit better off getting your relationship advice from David and I than from people that are overdosing at clubs at 4 in the morning to get clicks, or even worse, not to get clicks. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, people watching this podcast should be watching us to get some idea of what they're doing. Okay, so let's look at this Strixhaven preview. Magic Secrets guide of looking at a new set. I covered this a little bit with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The first thing I do is I go to the gold section of the spoiler. This is the very first thing I do. It's David Mills' rule number 1. For years and years and years, for decades now, we have abused gold cards, starting with Smitty, do you remember the elemental augury in Keeper?
It's one of my favorite attributes of Keeper.
Yeah, beautiful, right? Absolutely beautiful. And that was before Force of Will existed.
Augury you, augury me.
Augury you, augury me.
Good luck.
I can't tell you how many times I've killed somebody with augury Mox Monkey. Literally beaten somebody all the way to death with a Mox Monkey and an augury.
So let me tell a quick story real quick. Replenish is the card that returns enchantments. So I'm sure I've told this story before because I love it so much. But Gibb, Andy Gibb, you remember Gibb, got into that was the deck at the time. Replenish, enchantments, opalescence. He got into a match with Justin Bonomo, who's known now more for something called poker and
poker champion.
Yeah. And they just got into this like boom, boom, boom stalemate, and Gibb did 19 points of damage with a 4-mana 1/2.
Yeah.
He beat him to death with Academy Rector.
Academy Rector.
Like 19 points of damage with a 1/2.
That's great.
Where they were both playing combo decks, and it was just like, all right, well, I might as well attack. It was kind of like Finkel with Ophidian when Lindy advanced him. It's like, all right, take one.
That's really funny. So we have Smitty's referring to Andy Hall, who's one of our proteges from the end, going all the way back to 1998 when we had when we were still managing the game store. I guess I still own the game store, but just don't manage it.
He was so good he wasn't high out of his mind.
For sure. And even then, he was still very good. So So anyways, with looking at a new set, what we're going to do is we're going to look at first the gold cards. Then I'm going to put a great emphasis on cards that cost 1 and 2 casting costs. Look a little bit at 3 casting costs. So this is a card that has both of those attributes. Quandrix Charm. Quandrix Charm. So choose one. Counter target spell unless controller pays 2. Of course, it's an instant. Or destroy target enchantment, very spicy. Or, and I posted this card in our group, and it wasn't, I think I posted it 2 days ago, and it wasn't until last night that I realized that you can pump Mr. Green with this. You can pump, how the hell do you say its name? Arbroid? How do you say it?
Ouroboros, yeah.
Ouroboros, whatever his name is. So if you cast Arbroid or Mr. Green, and then you cast Quandrix Charm, then all of your creatures will get +5/+5 on the first turn. So that really puts it over the edge. Of course, just being able to, in essence, in a lot of cases, you'll be able to add 4 power to a given creature. You make a 1/1, a 5/5, or whatever. But in particular, that being able to change Mr. Green is really, really nice. We already play Bryn with a whole selection of spell counters, a whole buffet, because we can hit people from so many different angles. Of course, it would be just absurd not to play at least one of these, maybe 2. What's your current thoughts about Quandrix Charm as you're looking at it?
Yeah, great question. I think instead of I think there's a spell we played called Spell Pierce or something, where it's basically the top one.
The one.
But it's it says counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2, and this one is for creature and non-creature. And then we also have options against target enchantments, and so for sure it's gonna replace all the spell pierces. I think 2 minimum, maybe.
I would start with 2 and see where it goes from there. 2's a lot. 2's a lot, but it might be vicious. I mean, it might be a card where you really feel like you can't live without it and you need 4 of. I don't know. This is what science is about. I truly don't know. Now, one of the versions. Go ahead, Smitty.
I have the opinion that it's probably going to end up as being a 2, 3, 4 of, as it's just so much better than many cards. And we have
super duper.
We have so much trouble with Sheltered and Seamrip.
You know what? Sheltered by Ghost is one of the terrifying cards. That's really true, Smitty. That's really true. And Seamrip is a biatch too. But especially Sheltered by Ghost, you can just lose the game, and you can swing the game right back. I mean, from lost to found.
Yeah, when you crack their Shelter, they just
so it really might be 3 or 4 of.
They break down
really more. Yeah. Maybe even start at 3 and go from there. All right, great analysis, Smitty. Thank you for chiming in with that. That actually really rounded things out. And again, getting into the specifics of what we're going to see in the metagame. We've seen a weekly metagame from Michael, his article. So you look at that. Plenty of those decks are going to have enchantments, and of course you can also look at it based on the metagame. Okay, there's another spoiler I'm going to look at here. I'm going to try to switch the screen sharing. God bless this new GoToWebinar control panel. Let's see. How do we do this? There. Let's go with this. This is the wrong one, I think. Is this back to the same one? No, this is the new one. Okay, great. Okay. So let's look at this. Witherbloom Charm. Okay, so another version of Shuffle that we've played is not so much Atlanta Shuffle, but Batman Shuffle, with Cecil, who's kind of Batman, and of course the bats that also make it more Batman, the lifelink bats that you can go really crazy copying with Mr. Blue, copying with Drunith/Jackal. If you're playing 3 colors, in that 3-color deck, we typically were playing a couple of removal spells, maybe a couple Shot the Sheriff, maybe one of them is a Bitter, whatever the heck it's called, the one where you can Planeswalker, Bitter Triumph, right? What say you guys about Witherbloom Charm? Both of you guys have some amount of experience with, in theory, made with number 4 in the world with Batman Bazooka or Batman Shuffle.
So you draw 2, so you have options: sacrifice a permanent. If you do,
Right.
draw 2 cards, gain 5 life, or destroy target non-land permanents with mana. Wow.
Yeah, so the third one, of course, is a whammy. You can destroy an enchantment, artifact. You don't like a cauldron that's out there bothering you. Goodbye, cauldron. You don't like a too cool for school. Well, now you're the one that's too cool for school because you can get rid of it. Artisan's talent, which those decks often rely on, right?
Yeah.
So interesting, gain 5 life is a heck of a lot of life when you're swinging back and forth. When you need one more turn for Mr. Green to get big enough to really overwhelm somebody. And then it can a little bit act as not so much a counter when somebody goes to kill one of your creatures. Of course, if you're desperate, you can just, sack a land and draw 2 cards or whatever.
Or a mutagen token.
Right. Could be a mutagen token. Good chime in. Yeah, another good chime in. Of course, we're playing with Michelangelo Weirdness to the 11. Again, if you're playing 3 colors, it's hard to imagine not playing one of these, or maybe 2. I don't see it as the same level as the Quandrix Charm. Quandrix Charm seems completely out of control to me, but with the Boom Charm, I just don't know.
Remind me,
again,
if Mockingbird copies Cecil, it flips, right? But if Drunith copies Cecil, it doesn't flip. Is that correct?
I don't remember. How does it work? Do you know? Does anybody know? I don't think any of us know.
I think it's the other way around, potentially.
Is it the other way around? Okay. Because I know it came up in a game and I was like very confused and I was like, dang it, that's not fun.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if I'm almost positive Mockingbird doesn't flip because Mockingbird's very disappointing on stuff like that. I do think that the Drunith one does flip, weirdly enough.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Doesn't necessarily need to because it's so out of control. I'd like to point out to you if you do flip, if the token becomes like those tokens, you can definitely copy when they're non-legendary. You can copy them with Mockingbird, and it's pretty out of control. Copying a Cecil token or if Cecil is flipped and becoming a 4/4 lifelink flyer for 1 blue mana is a pretty good deal. Killer, God, what a show! Episode 34, guys. I mean, we're 5 minutes from wrapping up, but what a show! What a show! And I missed like the first 30 minutes of the show with you guys just being unbelievably dope. We figured out some things about Modern too, which I should update people. I didn't talk about Flange yet, or Flage, or whatever his name is, right?
Right. Not yet. Not in here.
Okay. Let me pull up. Let me go to like a browser and pull that card up.
So when I asked Harlan, who just won the Legacy tournament down in Richmond, what he would play in Modern.
What's Legacy?
Legacy?
Yeah. Do you mean Modern or do you mean Legacy? Because I don't know what Legacy is at all.
I mean Legacy. It's not Type 1, but it's the closest thing to Type 1 we have. So no power,
cool.
Lots of band. So he won the tournament down there with Affinity, and I'd run into him. He was he was one of the N kids. And I asked him what he would play in Modern, and he said, "All right, well, if I had to play tomorrow, I'd just play Boros Energy because I wouldn't need very many reps." I was like, "Okay, well, I don't know how that works." He's like, "It's all about the flage." So.
Okay, so it's really about the flage. Yeah, that's that's kind of what I came to ultimately. And this is such great science that we have from you, Smitty. That you have those I say kids now. They're of course they're adults and very a lot of them very successful in various walks of life. And
he was always one of the brightest ones, though.
Yeah, of course. Where did that save to? Okay, well let me see if I can pull this up a different way. I'm just trying to pull up Flage for you guys. Okay. all the joy of the new GoToWebinar. Although I could have spent more time practicing in this format, of course. Okay, let's go to share again. And here we go. Okay, so what I realized, Adam did some play testing for us and tested our kind of shuffle version, our kind of Drunith version of Boros Energy. I can pull it up, most of it up very, very easily with Magic Online, which I'll do now. I'm going to actually fire up Magic Online so I can show this to you. I can show you the rest of the deck. So Flage is a card. At first, I didn't put it into the deck, and it was probably more pre-sideboarding to play the Ranger Captain of Eos in the main deck instead of in the sideboard. I was thinking to put it in the main deck. I was thinking at first that Flage would be like kind of dissatisfying off of a Mockingbird, but then I really realized it's basically pretty great because you copy Drunith, right? Like let's say you have Drunith in play and you Flage, right? So first of all, you're directing 6 points of damage, including you can kill another Flage, which is interesting. Can you kind of see that?
Yeah,
You guys
twice
feel
to 3 damage, right? Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting. That's kind of a golden magic number required update. It wants to update. I'm not going to be able to pull up the rest of the deck very well. Yeah, I'm just not going to be able
So
to pull
when
it
you
up very well.
Drunith it, does the 6/6 stay or go?
Okay, so here's what happens. They both go, but Drunith becomes what?
I don't
It's
know.
a 4/4.
A 4/4. So now what happens next turn when we escape?
Oh yeah, got it. Okay, I see.
You get it?
Yeah.
So it gets super out of control. You're going to have 2 of them. And if you have another Mockingbird, you can Mockingbird the second one. Oh, no, you can't, because it will still die. It'll still die. Any Mockingbird, it's a really weird synergy with a Mockingbird. You can always Mockingbird to do 3 points of damage and kill them, but then it's going to die. So kind of sucks in that way. But you're still going to win on the face of, having 2 6/6 creatures that when they attack, when they enter the battlefield or attack, they deal 3 damage and you gain 3 life. So it's such a modern combo. I'll just tell you guys, I can tell you the cards off the top of my deck. There's only 16 lands. The 16 lands are Ancient Ziggurat, which just taps for a mana of any color to cast a creature and nothing else. Terrific card, best card in the deck. Then you have 3 other 5-color lands, which is Starting Town, City of Brass, and Mana Confluence, all of which tap for 1 mana for 1 damage, basically. Starting Town, of course, is the best of the 3 for the most part, because you can tap it for colorless mana for no damage. But sometimes it comes into play tapped. So those are your 16 lands. Then for other mana sources, you have 8 Hierarchs, 4 Noble Hierarchs, 4 Ignoble Hierarchs. It is possible. We're still examining the Ignoble Hierarchs. I got to tell you, Ignoble Hierarchs is really, really good with these creatures. Like a lot of times you'll just want to attack with 1 first striking Ocelot or something like that. It's really neat when it's a 3/3 first striker. They usually can't block it. That type of thing. So it's Hierarchs, which I'll give +1/+1 to any attacking creature, so long as it's just 1 creature attacking. So 8 Hierarchs, which is sort of like 8 1 green casting cost mana creatures. 4 of the Monkey Pirate, which is a 2/1 spectacular red creature legend, which is one of the best cards in the deck. Much better in our deck than it is in traditional Electricity, because we can use his mana so much more explosively, and we can double them. You can double them with Drunith. So the monkey, when it does combat damage, gives you, it's a 2/1 creature that when it does combat damage, both creates a treasure token, and which you can ramp into a turn 2 Drunith. So it gives you kind of 12 mana creatures for Drunith, which we've never really had before. Really spectacular. And then it also lets you look at the top card of your opponent's library and cast it. If you can cast it that turn, so it really gets out of control. Then 4 Druids, of course. So the rest of the 1 casting cost spell. So you have 12 mana creatures, the ones I just detailed, that cost 1. Then you have the 4 Ocelots, Pride, OP for overpowered, and 4 Soul Guides that are typical in an energy deck. So that rounds out your 1 casting cost creatures. You have 21 casting cost creatures, and then 24 with your Mockingbirds. And then your 2 drops are, and sometimes me going through something by mentally gives you guys a different way of looking at things. You know, I can kind of rattle things off too. The 2 casting costs are Drunith, 4 of the Orcish Bowmasters, the black and 1 Bowmasters from the Lord of the Rings set. They're spectacular in this deck. We copy them all the time. 4 Psychic Frogs that are really nasty, that we get to play, that typically don't get played much in the format, but they're so powerful, and really give us just tons of card economy between the Druniths and the Monkey Pirates and those guys. I think that's it. I think that's the whole deck. And then the Flages now. I used to have Ranger Captains of Eos, but now I have Flage. So that's for Modern. I wish I could show you guys the deck list. You can look at I'll work with Brendan. I'll get a blog post up with it. It can be one of my first blog posts.
Yeah. So all 16 of your lands make 5 colors.
Correct.
That's pretty damn sexy.
Oh, the deck is so spectacular, man. It's so spectacular. It's so fast. We can build it out. Yeah, we can build it out on the Mike Long account at some point. I think all the cards are there. So we'll see. The problem is you play it on. It's a little bit depressing to play on
Timeless
because then you're playing against cards that should be banned. You know, you're playing against Mox, Chrome Mox. You can play them in your deck, but it's not that good in the deck. You probably play it anyways, but anyways, it's okay. But it's much more fun to play on MTGO. I have it mostly built on MTGO, so I can finish on MTGO at some point. We'll get some games and show you guys what it looks like. But that really updates you for Modern. You become really the best Flage deck is what you become, right? Because you'll draw Flage just as much, if not more, because you actually have Psychic Frogs. So you'll draw them just as much as, if not more, than other people. And you can be Mockingbird is going to really help in the war of energy decks. You know, you're going to be able to copy. You know, if they cast the 2/1 Monkey Pirate, you can make a flying 2/1 Monkey Pirate, and so on. And so yeah, I'm really.
Flage just makes up so much for your mana base too.
Yeah.
Like hurting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You get so much more life gain from him, and then you're gaining, so much. So, anyways, it's Monsters Inc. Really cool new deck for Magic Secrets, and Monsters Inc. It's Monsters Inc. Shuffle, right? It's like Monster Shuffle, all monsters. Goes back to my 2008 or 9 deck that I built with Patrick Chapin, Monsters Inc. that made top 4 at the Pro Tour while the Keeper deck that David Mills and I built with Patrick Chapin took first with Gabriel Nassif. So yeah, cool stuff. And that's all on the same channel, guys. That's actually literally those replays are on the same channel. The same channel we put up this youtube.com/video music showcase. Who knew that channel would be so valuable? And now we're 34 beautiful episodes in. Cheers to Bryn and everybody who's been working on the blogs. Jason, thank you, Smitty, so much. Everybody's been doing it. It's beautiful. The blogs are beautiful. We're going to continue to make it look even better. We got Tokyo Gary Popper tournament. I love seeing this. I love it all. It's just absolutely so beautiful. I'll pull this up one more time on my way out. Great job today. What a beautiful, and I was marveling to David today about how incredibly Magic Secrets is scaling, how incredibly it's coming along for all of us. Go back to share here. Go one more time. We'll visit the blog one last time on our way out. We're now organizing the blog based on organizing the show based on the blog, these beautiful blog posts that Bryn is championing, that everybody's working together. Guys, I don't even know how to do a blog post on this, and they're all happening. I was telling that to my wife; she was amazed, but amazed with you guys. It's incredible. And I'll direct some content onto there. I don't think I'm going to post myself anytime soon, but I'll get some Michael on content on there through Bryn, that whatever, like this deck or something. And just great show, great contribution from Adam. Appreciate Michael Friedman was in. Michael was talking to us this week. We were this token that we're coming out this time is because of Michael Friedman and his idea. I think you guys are gonna love it. It's gonna really help you be prepared for your Strixhaven Magic the Gathering. So a great event, guys. I know I can't help but stop and marvel at the show. But let me get last words from Lawrence, Jeremy, Bryn, and Smitty, and then we'll wrap up.
Jeremy, you want to go?
Yeah, I like the new decks that's coming out. I've been playing a lot with Magic counter spells, so the new ones that are coming out should be fun for me.
That's gonna be really fun. Yeah, you're gonna love that new charm. Great, Jeremy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and the blog's coming amazingly. Brent's doing a fantastic job putting all this together. Smitty, of course, he's the one powering things, kind of like behind the scenes, giving.
Well, I met with Lawrence for an hour and a half last week.
Yeah, that was fun.
To help get things together, and it helped things for Magic. It helped. Lawrence has a real talent for digging through theory crafting. It's a certain type of personality type that David and I really seek out. Anyway, you guys all do, but there's different personality types, and Lawrence, because Lawrence has really been looking at Magic Secrets, because what's going to make MagicSecrets.com different than everything else is the original Magic Secrets book getting taught. Otherwise, we're just another bunch of that's why it descends to I actually had the thought the Cavicular was going to slam into the wall yesterday. I was just thinking to myself, where's it going to go? He's already been arrested for shooting at alligators. I know where he's at. I know the problem he has. The problem he has is content, right? Where is he going to get his content from? He has all these people that want content from him. He's already just been mean to everybody and done every weird thing. You just run out of being weird and whatever your skills are to talk about how good looking you are. How ridiculously good looking or great, and I do believe it looks maxing. I think it's smart, but without content, you just nothing to say to anybody, right? And that's where law of implication comes in. Actually having the right moves to make. Smitty's whole relationship with these young men and young women from the end was based on positive distinctions that Smitty was sure was going to help them. When Smitty was giving them advice, 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 times, it was going to help them because he knew it. He had learned fundamentally from best. He learned from me and David, and he built himself up. And so he comes from, and in those kids' lives, he's a very special person, right? As am I, as is David. So Lawrence has this vision of making sure that Magic Secrets really gets is weaponized and carried throughout the DNA of the original Magic Secrets book. All the lessons that David Mills taught, these semi-soft blocks and other brilliant lessons that are in there, that they really are available to you. Lawrence is just spending his time at 10:30 at night thinking, oh gosh, how do I make this available to people? I really want to do this. It just freaking bothers me. It's not available. And that's driving him at night. Special situation that we have, right? And of course, I can highlight any number of hours that Bryn and Smitty have hammered away at this blog and with Jeremy and with Lawrence, our great situation that we have, and so on. But anyways, it's beautiful, and I'm very grateful for it. Bryn, final words, and then we'll have Smitty and then around.
It's easy to do with the context you set up. Today I was like, I hope they don't figure out it's easy for me, kind of like that situation.
Should be easy for you. Everyone should be doing something ultimately that's easy for them. It's just that it's hard for other people. I was I was up at 6 a.m. in the morning painting, and it's not because I'm good at painting, but somebody I'm with, my wife is, and if I could just give her the energy to do it, then a whole bunch of stuff would get done and did get done. Okay. So sometimes, like so often, just having somebody there who cares, like as opposed to someone there who doesn't care, which by the way, sometimes someone there who doesn't care still beats being completely alone, completely alone, probably. I mean, completely alone on planet Earth. Although it's tough, it's really tough when when vectors are going different directions. Really tough. But when vectors are going the same direction, and you have different people with different talents, different facets, right? And we're building on enormous talent here. With Magic Secrets, Magic Secrets is built around Smitty. Smitty's the ideal person to build Magic Secrets around because he has this broad-based understanding of how to both enjoy life vis-a-vis magic and be very good at it, and to transfer and then make that available to other people by the bucket loads, right? And it just flies out of his pocket like, oh, here's some more of it, here's some more of it, here's some more of it, right? And he's that way with many other things, but with magic is a great place. And so when David and I realized that Smitty could anchor this, right, we did it. And without it, we wouldn't do it because this would just be a bunch of nonsense. It would just be a bunch of air that we're chasing around. And so that's very hard. And then Nikki with Magic Secrets, right? Then Nikki really wants to do it. You guys see it on the podcast. He just wants to do it, right? And so on. And so we build around these people that want to do it. And then when something's anchored, right, all kinds of things can happen, right? You understand that when it's anchored, you can build around it and say, oh, okay, now something's anchored like a mall, right? Oh, okay, well, they've got, a Macy's and they'll have big stores. Like oftentimes they'll have a giant Target these days adjacent to or adjoining to a mall, or an Old Navy, but some kind of giant store to really say, we care. Sears, it used to be back in the day, right? And that anchors, they call them anchors, right? Because they anchor the experience for people. And now all of a sudden, all of these little stores, the Pandora store and the little Victoria's Secret store and the little Diesel store, right? Clients of ours, by the way. All makes sense. Funny how those brands come to mind. So yeah, very, very, very special. Smitty, final words.
Thank you, Bryn. I send this guy like piles of words and thoughts, and he turns them into organized things, and I appreciate it very much.
Which is surprising because Jason actually has a very editorial mindset himself. When I did Annihilation Engine all the way back in 2009, Smitty was the editor of record, and I mean David and I worked with Smitty on it, and he worked really hard on it. He's got a very good mindset for it.
That was a lot of editing.
Yeah, but Bryn, and my wife's read it over, by the way. She appreciated it, so somebody got something good out of it. And actually, Annihilation Engine was incredibly effective when we released it. But even though you have a lot of those skills, Bryn has them much more at an organized level, and Bryn has this massive networking thing that he does where he's so tied in with Lawrence and Jeremy and with everybody else so well. He just gets along with people so well. And so it just creates this beautiful, and a little bit we're talking about people like they're objects. We're not objects. I mean, human beings resemble objects. So when we explain, oh, Bryn's like this, Bryn's like that, we really mean he's a human being that resembles these things, which is good. And might sound like I'm playing word police, but I'm not. This is for Magic Secrets, accurate representation. It's chapter number 1. Chapter number 1. Beautiful. Great job, Smitty. Great job, Ron and Shane. Great job, Smitty. I love it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. We do. We appreciate you. And we know all the ladies love to hear about your podcast and tell anybody that want to hear about it. But they should. It's the coolest thing on planet Earth. I think this is one of the coolest, if not the coolest, places to be. All right, appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. Killer podcast. And you can see us in between on the blog. You can see us in between on the replays. I mean, it can just go all weekend. Soon, today I've announced the law of implication, forums that are coming.
Nice.
It's a progression. It's progression. I got on with Lawrence to hash things through, and I got on with David and figure things out. Get it done. The Bluey. God bless you guys. Thanks, Jesus.